You're listening to the Productive Therapist Podcast, the world's greatest and most brilliant resource for busy therapists who'd rather be laying on a beach in Hawaii. Every week we share helpful tips on where to put what, how to do this, that, and the other, and the best way to get your ducks in a row. And now here's your host, licensed therapist, head nerd, and productivity Yoda, Uriah Guilford.
Hello and welcome to the Productive Therapist Podcast. I'm super stoked to have Roy and Liath from Person-Centered Tech joining us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yes, I feel like we just talked, but that's because I was on your podcast. So much fun. Yes. So I have to ask you one thing. We're going to kind of have a free-floating conversation, talk about some things that you have coming up that I'm excited to hear about that I actually don't know very much about, which is cool. A little bit of a reveal, if you will. And I want to ask you about this. You must have changed the headline on your website sometime in the last couple months, because I looked at it today and I was like, oh, that's good. So the headline on your site, on your website, on the homepage says, "Let's tackle tech together." And that's just so good. Like, it's alliteration and it's short. It's just good marketing right there.
We will tell Elizabeth right on.
Yes. I was curious, how does that tie into your mission at Person-Centered Tech with what you do?
Well, well, God, yeah, that's right. Unpack this one-liner, right? To look at all the things it does. Yeah, it is a good lesson in making those one-liners. Well, it's like, person-centered tech. So our primary focus is on things relating to tech and mental health, right? So like we have a lot of training about teletherapy. We have a lot of help with teletherapy. Also, a lot of materials and training for HIPAA compliance, right? But specifically HIPAA security. So we're super focused on how mental health professionals can use tech, both just to get basic needs met, but also get advanced needs or greater needs met.
Sure.
And very importantly, it's together because it's all very integrated. Like, Person-Centered Tech is not just a bunch of courses. Like we do office hours every week, and that's kind of the centerpiece of everything.
That's one of the things I love about what you do is it's very much like done with you, I guess is a way to say it, right?
Yeah.
And that tagline is like, it's just good marketing, but it's reflective of your sort of collaborative approach of helping the process be less stressful and making sure that the therapists that you support don't have to tackle this on their own, have to figure it out on their own, because that is very stressful. So I just love that.
Yeah, thanks.
Really glad to hear that resonates, because I think that conveys part of what is a core component of what really is has emerged as the PCT way, as a system for approaching making your whole practice work. And how to utilize and leverage tech as a means of doing that, but in a way that isn't anxiety inducing, that doesn't cause compliance issues. And so much of that does occur through relational support and working collaboratively.
I love that. I'm curious the answer to this question, because I don't know. And y'all have been doing this for at least 10 years, I think you said before, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So where did the name Person-Centered Tech? I like that too. Where did that come from? What's the origin of that?
Oh, I'm glad you like it. Yeah. Well, I was trying to figure out what to name my little thing that I was doing, because at that time it was a little thing I was doing. It wasn't really a company, right? It was just me. And then I added my friend Brian, and later we found Liath, and, now it's like 8 people. But the idea there was just like, I realized like I really needed to just go ahead and lean into like doing some kind of consultancy to help people, because like I had just started practicing and it was immediate. When you're a tech nerd, it's really hard to escape being a tech nerd. People will suck you back in. Right?
So true.
Yeah. And so like, I really just wanted a name that combined elements of what people think of in mental health practice and in tech, so like, I originally was like going to go for the Tech Buddha. Especially because I got a big belly, I can be like the Tech Buddha. The thing is, a bunch of other people go by that handle.
Really?
Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of people who call themselves the Tech Buddha.
Because that's not mental health focused really so much. It's more like guru of tech. Yes.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, and they were also like they're generally IT people, and I'm like, no, that's not really what I'm doing. But
sure.
either way, the name's taken. Yeah. So I was like, well, what's something else? And I was like, Person-Centered is a thing we all know. It's very foundational to like,
that was my association. Yeah.
And then like and so like person-centered tech, and there's a sort of like a little juxtaposition, like feels like opposites, but isn't really.
Yeah.
So I went for that.
Friendly tech. Once upon a time in 2011 or so, I was creating little workshops for therapists in my area. And I went and spoke at a couple of conferences on internet marketing for therapists back in the day. Yeah. And I was, trying to teach people about SEO and meta tags and stuff that they didn't want to know about. And I remember printing out some business cards for this conference for CAMP, which is the, California Association of Marriage and Family Therapists. And I thought I was really cute. And I called myself the tech therapist, right? Like, therapy for your tech or something like that. Mm-hmm. That didn't go anywhere from there. But then later, a reincarnation of Uriah, the tech therapist, is back.
Right on.
Yeah.
Rob Reinhardt has also used that.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I say tech counselor myself.
I like it. So I'm super curious to hear about the PCT way and what you have been working on behind the scenes, and anything you want to share with my audience.
Yeah, we'd love to. We've been working real hard behind the scenes on this. Yeah. So, I mean, people who follow us before know that when you follow us, you start to learn a particular kind of method of doing things. And that method of doing things has been extraordinarily helpful to a lot of people. My favorite quote is from someone in sort of middle of 2020, who we were talking about how, basically March 15th of 2020 was this huge weekend. It was like everyone needs to be doing teletherapy this weekend.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And like, oh man, just we called it at that time banana season because it was just so bananas like in our area. But like, so of course we're talking about how everyone was like, I suddenly have to turn everything around and do other things I don't understand. And it's really frustrating. And like, there's so much unknown. And, someone, a couple months later basically told us, they're like, because I've been following PCT this whole time, it was actually really easy. I just made a couple changes to my website and I was fine. Like I had everything ready
awesome.
to go. Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the PCT way, like, except more formalized, right? So like basically we're like, the one thing is we have all these things we do for people, but we didn't really have a way of combining them together. Mm-hmm. Showing like how they put together. So we developed the PCT way, which is a system of basically making your practice work.
I love it. Yeah. And prior to March 15th, 2020, you had some focus on teletherapy, but is it more of a focus now, would you say?
It was spiked in focus, and I think it's gone back to largely the same, but I think our focus on teletherapy mirrors the industry's focus
right
on teletherapy.
Sure.
So it is higher, but it has kind of skewed towards just like, thinking about tech and existing with tech, HIPAA compliance and teletherapy, all kind of at the same time.
Right. It's all in the same bubble, if you will. Yeah.
I think that at this point in time, we have evolved to a point where teletherapy is just a component of practice and a means of delivery, but it isn't this great demarcator of are you a teletherapy practice or a traditional practice? That distinction is gone, and something that we had been saying so much as people came to us with a tremendous amount of anxiety around making the shift to teletherapy was sort of this idea that being a teletherapist meant that suddenly HIPAA applied or had more real consequences than it previously did or did without teletherapy. And so what we would say in response is if you have your foundational components of just effective tech utilization that is approached through a risk management and security lens and framework, then it's just one additional component. It isn't a whole new process or undertaking.
Right. That's perfect. So if I was to follow the PCT way, and I'm considering signing up for, whatever the charter documents are.
Fabulous.
Great.
Will I also be ready for the, the virtual reality future?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, and that really, yeah, I was funny.
It's sort of a joke, but it's actually not a joke, right? Like that's
100%
at some point coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts about that. Maybe that's another podcast, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That would be a good, that would be an interesting one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. There's yeah. Okay. Sorry. I got said Uriah sidetracked me. No,
Let's talk about artificial intelligence, Roy. No.
Yeah. Okay. The Chrome. No. The thing is, yes, though, that's the thing, right? Because the PCTUA is we took basically all these frameworks and all these like lists and things we have, and we just made a system out of it. And the idea is to make sure that it's a system where you just kind of step on the first step, and then you take the next step, and then you take the next step, and you find yourself in this place where suddenly you've got a very robust, very almost anti-fragile kind of way of running a practice. I was real hesitant to use the word anti-fragile because if someone who actually studies that term can argue with me on it. But I have arguments for why it is that. If someone wants to argue, I'd be happy to do so. But like, because the PCT way is very specifically a way of setting up and managing your practice. Very tech focused, but it's not all. It's all related to tech in some way or another, I should say, actually. But like it's centered around tech because modern practice is, not because we love tech, because modern practice is.
Just by the nature of the time we live in, right?
Exactly, right. And that's why it works that way. Right? And so like the PCT way is centered around that, and it is specifically designed in a way that helps to ensure that you have very little fragility in your practice. Right? So like your practice is not going to be like washed over by the next version of whatever the COVID pandemic is. You'll probably be able to flex. In general, the only kind of thing that will probably make the PCT way fail is like total apocalypse, total collapse of society or something, right?
And then we'll go back to in person, like we used
right. And then we just go back to in person. Like, why I actually think it's still anti-fragile.
And paper, right? I was going to say the internet ceased to exist, and we couldn't access cloud systems.
Sure.
Problem.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Walking Dead kind of stuff. Yes.
Right. At which point we're just in person, but we're quiet because Walking Dead,
very quiet. Yes.
Very sound sensitive. Right. So like you see, that's but the PCT way would be like, okay, so we have to do quiet therapy because zombies are sound sensitive. So we're going to talk about how we do that, because that's what PCT does, just follow what the field is doing and what they need. Right.
There you go. So it will prepare you for any eventuality. Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And like I was always really hesitant to say that, but I actually feel, after a lot of talking to Liath about it and others, and I just sort of feel confident I can say that. And luckily we had COVID to test it.
Right. Yeah. Right. It's taking the best out of the worst case situations there. Yeah. So I like that. So you're saying it's a kind of it's a step-by-step system that prepares and equips your practice to be, I'd never heard the term before, but anti-fragile. And I would guess also not audit proof, but something along those lines of like, not
audit proof, but I'm not, okay. Here's actually why I responded to you that way. It's not because I'm not going, we're not audit proof. We're not going to do that. No, the PCT will actually prepare you to be audit resistant. It will. But like, the reason I say this is because I'm actually not worried about you getting audited. Like that's like that's the thing. Like it depending on what you are. Like some of you really big group practices, maybe. But like, all historical indicators and everything that indicates what's happening in the future says that one thing I really don't want our people, spending cortisol on. Think about the idea of audits.
Right.
That's not the realistic thing. That's not what happens.
What do you think is the best motivation then for people to kind of get on board with the PCT way or something similar to that?
Well, the PCT way, HIPAA compliance is just one thing it does.
Right.
Like it's like the beauty of this is like there are lots of other people who do this, right? They're like, we'll design your tech stack, we'll help you figure out your systems. Like you do that, right?
To some degree,
To some degree. I mean, you provide a service that does that.
Sure.
So and it's great. I mean, I think the beauty there is that all of us have noticed how vital that is, and so we're all going for it, right? So I think it's good for our field to see, hey, people who spend a lot of time thinking about this, they're really focused on this. Maybe you should be too, which I think is super important. The thing we do, because we have this heavy background in HIPAA, when we give you your recipe, And we tell you, and we give you your forms, and we say, okay, for you, this is the way you're going to want to manage, say, texting with clients, because you're seeing clients of a low SCS, so you actually really need to use non-secure texting. And here's the way you do that to be HIPAA compliant. Like our system's going to talk to you about that. And that's how you're going to do it. That's how you're going to set up things. What we tell you will consistently and reliably actually work out to be accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Like it will stay HIPAA compliant.
Right.
And ethical.
Yeah.
And if something about the framework changes, that's why it's an active service. It's not just like a book we're selling you.
Right. It's basically a means of meeting practice needs, whatever those identified needs are, operationally, functionally, internally, for your team management and support, and for meeting clients where they are, to be able to meet those needs in a cost-effective, functional way that is also consistently HIPAA compliant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And by consistently HIPAA compliant, we don't mean that it's a product that makes you compliant. We mean that it is consistent with your compliance activities, and that the solutions that get identified through implementing and utilizing the PCT way are congruent with HIPAA compliance as a process and outcome.
Yeah.
And if you actually want to get HIPAA compliant, the PCT way will take you there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like the last 2 of the 5 steps.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like as we're talking about this, I need like a visual. Like I want like a Candyland board that guides me through. Like,
oh my God, we have one.
It's
shaped the way like this is audio only podcast, right?
It is.
Oh, okay. Because you just did like a little thing with your hand. Like we have that. It has that shape.
Oh, perfect. You know what they call that? I learned about this recently. I took an amazing course called Tribe, and it basically teaches you how to create a membership community.
Yeah.
All kinds of different membership communities, but they say that one of the important things is to give people what they call a success path, which is just a visual and like a step-by-step process to know how you get from step 1 to step 5 and what success looks like. So that's very cool to hear that you have that, because I want to see it because I'm visual.
Oh, cool. Yeah. We will send you right to it, man.
That's fantastic. Because I love, for some reason, it's the way my brain works. I love frameworks. And so a business framework and a step-by-step procedure just makes me happy, I guess. That's the productivity in me. Productivity guru. Yeah.
Also as a therapist, I mean, like, it's the thing that makes us, more interesting than a friendly, or a good friend who will listen to you.
Sure.
How we're building these frameworks and conceptualizing in our head as we listen and think about what you're doing.
Definitely. Yeah. What you're talking about makes me think about, it just seems like there's a growing interest among therapists, and especially folks who have group practices, of course, because of the necessity, but to create efficient systems for all the different aspects of the practice, to regain sanity as well as to just make life easy and make sure that the operation is moving smoothly. And just like we're not trained in marketing and business in grad school, we don't know like operation, we don't know about this stuff, right? So we're trying to learn about it. And I just recently read Casey Compton's book, Fix This Next, for healthcare, for healthcare providers. Fantastic. A lot of systems kind of stuff in there, right?
Yeah.
So I think between person-centered tech and productive therapists and other like-minded organizations, the more we can equip the therapist to get that on board, obviously the clients that they serve are going to benefit from that, as well as everybody inside of the organization. Yeah. Double thumbs up. Yeah. That's actually a huge, my thing, this is for me, like a big thing that it's been of why I really wanted to create something that people feel they can just step into and it takes them through, is because even after 10 years, after 10 years of doing something, you still keep saying the same problems to solve. And you're like, why do you keep having the same problems to solve? Well, it's the whole, just constantly meeting therapists, whether it's a group and how they're running or a solo practitioner, who have only kind of halfway developed how they communicate with clients. And they're frustrated with it. But the problem is, to get better, they need to either have someone tell them exactly what to do or research it.
And when they ask like colleagues to tell them exactly what to do, they get 10 different answers. Or they'll get all these answers and then they go like find an article on our site that indicates that answer is not HIPAA compliant.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Right. And the people I just had a lot of conversations with colleagues who are literally crying because they're so pushed and pulled by all this activity. And they're just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know who to trust, et cetera, et cetera. And so they're like, and like, or I'll just meet people who are like, oh yeah, I absolutely never text with clients. And like, but the problem is now I have this client for whom that's a significant barrier to care. What do I do? Like, how do I do something that replaces texting? And I'm like, why don't you text with them? And they're like, but I can't text with them according to this thing. And I'm like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how you can text with them.
So they think they have their bases covered, but it's really just because they don't opt in for certain things.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, they'll start hearing all of their colleagues talking about texting. Like most of them are just saying, just text with them. Don't think about it. And this person is like clearly not someone who feels comfortable doing that.
Sure.
Right. And then others say, oh no, texting is not HIPAA compliant, which is, as you know, one of my pet peeves to refer to a product as compliant or not. Right. And that's the problem. And they go, well, that means clearly I just cannot text. Right? Or like, no, you can. You just need to understand the process. Like you need to understand how texting fits in.
Right.
Yeah. And so like the thing is, that means that client hasn't been getting that. Like this whole time, their clients have not been getting this form of connection. Because a lot of times I'll meet colleagues who are like, I don't text with clients. And that actually is just how they want to do it. That's why they don't text with clients.
Just a personal boundary. Right.
Exactly. And that's fine. I usually assume that's what they mean when they say that. I'm like, oh yeah, cool, right on. And they're like, oh man, like it's so bad because like the things I'm missing or the difficulties I'm having with these clients. And I'm like, wait. So you do want to text. You just think you can't. Right?
Seems to me that's a big part of that is just having the right information, right?
Exactly.
Because you're right that a lot of us think we know, a lot of us who are trained therapists, and we understand some things about HIPAA just enough to be dangerous, right?
Yeah, right.
But solid, consistent information, it seems to me, is hard to like really distribute to everybody. But it's so nuanced, as I know from listening to your podcasts and participating in your programs, that you have to kind of commit some time and energy to really wrap your mind around what it really is, right?
Yeah. That's right. And not everyone has the time or energy for that, which I understand.
Yeah.
No, and I think at this point in time in particular, that providers and practice owners, especially group practice owners and leaders, there is enough kind of cognitive overhead and emotional burden that people don't want to have to devote all this time and energy and expense to finding the things that are the solutions to their identified needs. They want things to be efficient and cost effective and meet those identified needs and not create a bunch of cumbersome processes
true.
Or cause great stress because maybe they get the functionality they want and need, but it's not something that really fits with risk management and security compliance needs. So that's why we want to create or have created the system that is a means for meeting each of those needs in a way that's congruent and accessible, where you can kind of enter the path wherever your current need is and tackle that. Like it doesn't have to be an all or nothing process, which is, I think, what can sometimes be a barrier for engaging this way of practice leadership or practice management.
If it feels too intimidating, most people will run away, right?
Yeah.
And or focus on something else. I like what you just shared there. So I have two follow-up questions. Number one, how do the folks listening to this podcast know if this is right for them? I think I know the answer to that one. And then number two, how did they get more information about this?
Well, number one, the flow chart is, are you a mental health professional?
Right.
Or the owner of a practice of mental health professionals in private practice?
Okay. Check. Yes.
For you. No, might be for you. Check it out. See if it is. Right.
Easy. Okay.
Might still be for you. Certainly the trainings are still valuable to you, if not the actual system itself. Right. How they get to it is like, you just go to personcenteredtech.com and the PCT way is the whole system. The actual products are
Got it.
steps. So like you actually don't need to buy anything to start on the way.
Okay.
Right. But basically once you've really done the first step, you'll start realizing, there's a reason there's a product here.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You'll start utilizing it to get your needs met.
Right. And the primary service or product that is the means for getting the PCT way system is called Practice Care. And there's a version of Practice Care that's for solo providers, and then a parallel but specific version for group practices as well that serves all of the different team members within a group practice.
Practice Care. I like it.
There's a super cool feature for groups that it's not that we don't care about solo practitioners. It's just that you don't need this thing, but group pro owners do need this thing. So we get it for them, and this actually is just from signing up. This is one of those things you don't have to buy to start with the way, but basically you can get your whole team signed up on Person Center Tech with you as a team. And then you can assign trainings to your team, and it will automatically track and send them reminders.
Okay.
And give you a history of training assignment tasks. And generally also, actually, it's not just training, it's basically HIPAA compliance tasks. So you do buy the trainings, of course, but just assign them, including if you have a group Practice Care, you can then also assign your people to go run their own personal devices through the Device Security Center and register their devices, which is an aspect of what's called Bring Your Own Device. And of course, you can also use the exact same thing for just the devices that the practice owns. And solo providers, of course, can.
That's really cool. I like that.
Yeah, but solo providers don't need to be assigning tasks to people, so we don't have that for that.
No. Although I potentially foresee a time when we might have a solo provider who signs up as a team of one because they want to assign themselves things.
Oh yeah, that's true. I can see that because it sends them reminders, right? Yeah,
I guess, and maybe possibly solo providers who have some sort of a team, which it could be like a virtual assistant, for example, and somebody else could
tell me more about that.
Have you heard of this?
Virtual assistant.
Yeah, they're in the cloud. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, cool.
Love the cloud.
Yeah. So I'm realizing, that I need to figure out where I am on this map of yours and figure out where my practice needs to go next. So I'm going to follow through with that and figure out what I need to do next. And I do have a team that I can delegate to because I don't enjoy some of this stuff. I enjoy the tech part, but some of the other things, not so much. Right. So yes, point me where to go to tell other people in my team to how to get us further, right?
I absolutely will. I also happen to know, because I know all things within our company, that you have done step 4 in the PCT way.
Yes.
That you have.
How many steps are there?
There are 5.
Okay. Oh, okay. Good. I like that. That sounds like I already made progress. So that's
you're very far along. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
But what I didn't tell you is that I didn't implement everything I learned in step 4. So
that's okay. That's step 5.
That's step 5.
Okay. Good. Excellent.
Whew. That's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
fantastic.
I can get you all hooked up with step 5.
I'm the person that if there's an online course or anything in life where you check boxes and completion is a thing, I want to go to 100%. I mean, not every Zelda video game I've ever played have I finished at 100%, but many things, I don't know. I just threw a video game reference in there for some reason.
Sure. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's very appropriate because I think the, gamification and that sense of actually accomplishing and working your way towards a culmination of a whole journey and getting your gold star. Or old business manager used to talk about that a lot.
Is that right?
Compliance, documented compliance isn't just enough of a reward for engaging this arduous process. People need their gold star too, and they need their gold star at key milestones.
Oh, it's true. To keep you going. You need to feel like you're making progress and you're accomplishing things and you're reaching the goal. Yeah, that's good. Well, I appreciate having you on the podcast. I don't know. I'm sure we'll have a round 2 and a round 3, because we have lots more to talk about. But I appreciate you sharing this, and I'm excited to get this out to my audience and spread the good news of the PCT way.
Great. Thanks, Uri. I appreciate it.
You have a good day. Bye.
You too.
Bye-bye.